Wind impacts for inland areas for the next few hours. The more north and east you go, north of the state line along I-75, it's just a scattered variety of showers. But we have this deep fetch of moisture, east winds for now, southeast coming around the circulation of Sally. The core of it stays away from our area, but we are going to be locked into that very humid pattern where showers can easily form and roll in from south to north across the region. Our wind pattern for tomorrow is still mostly from the east, but then the heaviest of the rain starts to become a little more steady and a little more locked in across our western areas through about midday tomorrow through the evening hours. Lighter rain and more scattered pockets of heavier rain the more east you go, but where we have the steadiness of the heaviest rain and high rain accumulations in those western zones, that's where the flooding risk will be the highest, perhaps even including sections of the central Big Bend like in Wakulla County. So overall rain totals next 24 hours, they will start to add on to what's already fallen, 1 to maybe even upwards of 4 to 5 inches in that southwestern corner. Lesser amounts elsewhere, but just keep in mind you will have times where the weather will not be all that great. And some folks have been asking on social media about severe weather risk. With rain bands around a hurricane or a tropical storm, you can get waterspouts and tornadoes, and it seems like the highest potential will be isolated to scattered in the western side of the Big Bend and the Forgotten Coast region. So that's a secondary concern that we will have. We'll monitor it very closely. Forecast lows for tonight, mid-70s. We'll get back into the lower 80s in western areas tomorrow, maybe some mid-80s with a couple of peaks of sun across the I-75 counties with east to southeast winds for boating interest, tropical storm warnings continuing for offshore waters, a small craft advisory for eastern areas. Your extended first alert forecast, it does tend to start to dry things out gradually. It may be until the end of the week before we get a drier spell. And as Sally pushes out, it may help to force dry air in and maybe a bit of cooler air, a little treat perhaps. Not going to lock into these numbers quite yet, but the trend does support lows in the 60s and highs maybe around 80 with a little sunshine.